What's up guys, you can see I packed every player from the new Epic re-release pack. I didn't pack Guti, but I got him from a previous pack, so I have them all and I've used them all, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on how good they are, which builds you should use, and which skills I think are best too. So starting off with David Seaman, this is the build I used, but I wouldn't recommend this. There was some issues and I've identified a better build that I haven't used yet, but it should just be better, because if you take off a little bit of the catching and you give it to the reach, you're going to end up with 90s on all of his goalkeeping stats. But most importantly, even though you reduce the catching, you probably wouldn't notice it because he still has 95 and it's still at that threshold. So that's what I'd recommend. I've played against this guy for a few months, and every time I play against him, he's amazing. So he should be good. I do think keepers might be a little bit worse at the moment though. Next player, Lee Dixon. This guy was amazing, and I was really happy when I saw him in the pack, because it's definitely a player I knew I always wanted but wasn't going to spend the money on. But I'm happy I got him. I played a couple games with him. I didn't play as many as with the other guys because I was also trying out Koundé. I don't know if he's here in the pack or in the team, but there's a new Koundé that came out. Oh yeah, he's there at the top. I'm going to try him out, so I was rotating them. But this guy definitely felt really good on the ball. This is the build I would recommend you go for. If you want to make any changes, you could probably take off a little bit of dribbling, because you're going to still get the 80 type possession. It's not really going to change your thresholds. And then you have 2 points left over that can go into shooting or into aerial. But again, even if you take it away from dribbling and put it there, I don't really think it's going to change the card. So I just put it into dribbling. That way, with a bit of form, the form arrow will take that dribbling from 79 up to 80 or above. For the skills, it does need a few. When you look at him, he's kind of in between a card that's a good defensive card and a good card on the ball, like with his space on his skills. So you need to pick which route you're going to go down if you want to make him better on the ball or better in defending. So if you want to make him better on the ball, you're going to want to put a one-touch pass on him or a true pass. Well, actually put both on him, and like a low-lofted pass. You can also put acrobatic clearance or aerial superiority on him if you want to make him better defensively. So you can put all those 5 on to make him more balanced. But then if you want to make him even better on the defending, you'd also need like a track back, but again, he's a right back, so I don't think you need that too much. But definitely very happy with that guy, and I'm glad I got him. A player I'm not happy with is Van Buiten. So I played 70 games with him because I got him when he first released, and I really don't like this guy. I've tried numerous builds, some with more defending than this, some with more pace. I just can never get on with him. I don't think he suits my style of play. I like to push high pitch, press, gegen press, and have a high line. This guy obviously gets exposed in that high line, so for me, he just doesn't work. One player that definitely worked was this Guardiol, though. This Guardiol was amazing. Oh, by the way, here's the build I used for Van Buiten, but again, I'm not 100% certain for my style of play he works. So if you play long ball counter, you probably will be fine. But I do feel like if you're going to play him quick counter, you know, that's he's not the greatest idea. He also needs interception. He doesn't start with it for some reason. So you need interception, and you could do a slide tackling as well to go with that blocker. But yeah, I wouldn't use him if you play quick counter or possession. But yeah, Guardiol was amazing. Probably the best player in the pack. He's not even an epic, a legend, but he was probably the best player in the pack. Very good player. If we look at his build, you can see we can get all the stats. 285 on defending, get that +3 boost. Good passing and quite good speed. His acceleration's a bit lower, but it didn't seem to phase him at all. For the skills I'd put on him, you want to put slide and tackle on to go with that blocker, get the more blocking animations, and then one-touch pass and true passing. And then actually low lofted pass as well. Be very comfortable on the ball then. Just a really good defender, and I probably will invest skills in this guy. I did think he's quite good. I think Beckenbauer would be better than him on the ball, just because he's a little bit more nimble, a little bit better at dribbling, and probably he's definitely better at passing, Beckenbauer too. But in terms of his defensive abilities, I think this Guardiol would be better than Beckenbauer. Next player is Dennis Irwin, and I really like this Dennis Irwin. I'm very glad I got him. Very happy with him. Great stats, well rounded. Doesn't have many skills, so he's definitely going to need skills on him. But even without the skills, he performed very well. Definitely a very handy player. And if we can train him right back or left mid, I think he'd be even more useful. So the skills that you want to put on him are going to be like a double touch, a Marseille turn, or a cut behind and turn, just to help his ability to beat your opponent. You could honestly go for a scissors feint as well, because you don't want to be doing Marseille turns with your left back too much. He's got interception already, so you could do blocker and slide tackle, but I don't think you need that on your fullbacks as much. I wouldn't recommend that, but I would recommend one touch pass and true passing, just because even he felt like a player that had those skills. Some players just feel like they work Konami make them always have one touch pass and true pass. I don't know how to explain it, but some players just feel like this guy's well rounded and will do anything you ask of him. This guy seems like that. So give him the one touch pass and true pass to help it out. But I'd say if you played with him yourself and you didn't know he didn't have those skills, you wouldn't think he wouldn't have it. Particularly one touch pass, you'd probably assume he had it. Definitely a very strong player, and I'm very glad I got him. So if we look at the build again, here it is. You can get a lot of stats to 85. If you want, you could, if you don't worry about the lofted pass, you could take a little bit off, and then you can put it anywhere. You could put it into defending, but you're not going to get much out of it, although you will get the defending stats to 90. So it does look better as a defender, except just not as well going forward. But I mean, I don't think it's a major issue. So I'm going to try both builds. So I will be doing a video reviewing all these cards. So I'll probably go with this build in the latter half of my games, and then I'll let you know in that review video, which I think is the most optimized. This training guide is just serves as a function of, or the purpose is to give you an idea of what should work based on experience. Next player is Petite, and I didn't like this guy. I kind of knew I wouldn't like him. His dribbling stats are very poor, and his balance doesn't make up for it. So I knew he'd be kind of like a battering ram. He is more of a destroyer type of player, but he is given box to box, and I think his other cards are destroyers. So I do think that kind of makes him not effective. He's not that fast either. Box to boxes should be quite fast, just to cover a lot of ground, and if he had +5 on each pace stat, I think he'd be very good for a defensive kind of box to box, but at the moment I don't like him at all. So that's the build I went for. You could go for a little bit less on the defensive stats, like if you don't worry about his defensive awareness being 85 for the plus boost, you can go for that, and then you have 6 points to work with. But realistically, what are these 6 points going to do for you? We've already invested a lot into his pace. Like, I don't know, he could go dribbling, but I don't think it's going to make him actually comfortable on the ball. So I would go with the build I had at the start there. For the skills you'd put on him, he just needs true passing, and actually that was one thing I wanted to mention. His passing, his low passing is high, but he doesn't have the skill for true passing. So that's why I didn't feel comfortable using him. Like, I only used him for 2 games. I think I did actually use him for 3, but we disconnected from 1. My internet dropped, so it might not account for that game. But the true passing, yeah, the true passing is a lot better in this game, eFootball 25 as well. And he still couldn't really do anything because he doesn't have the dribbling. So when you pass to him, you can't dribble when you're going to have to pass, and he doesn't have the skill. So definitely put true passing on him if you are going to use him. You could put acrobatic clearance and aerial superiority, particularly aerial superiority. I can see him being good in the air. You would put acrobatic clearance on him if you're going to put deep line on him. If you're not going to put deep line, I wouldn't really worry about it. And he probably should get blocker just because he has sliding tackle already. It'll help. And then fighting spirit, just because you're going to try and make him into a battering ram, really. You're just going to run around and collide into the opposition midfield. So fighting spirit will help with that with his stamina. Next player is Edgar David. So I didn't use this build. I used a build with 88 low pass and less dribbling. And I did think that build was actually quite good. So it would have been like this and probably like that. So that was the build I used, and I thought it was quite effective. Although I did feel like on the ball he wasn't doing enough, so I've switched into that second build, so I'm going to try it out. But if you want to play him, see, I'm playing him centre mid, so I wanted a bit more going forward. So if you're playing him centre mid, this build, while it does have better passing, it doesn't have as good dribbling. So I think if you play this guy DMF though, this build is good. I don't have many complaints about the card. I don't think he was amazing, but I knew I don't like destroyers. I kind of knew I wouldn't like him too much. A player that I did like was Luis Garcia, just a normal winger. Just nothing too interesting about him. I did actually, while using him, think he was right footed though. I never realized he was left footed. So I was assuming he was hitting everything on his right. That was his strong foot. It's actually his weak foot. So I was meant to cut in a bit more, but if you want to go outside with him, he's good. So it does kind of show. If I was trying to dribble outside with him on his right foot very often, and that's his weak foot, he would have been even better if I was cutting in as well. So he can go on the outside. So that's essentially what you're looking for from a winger, someone who can go both sides. Just a fun player. I really did enjoy him. So I'm glad I got him. Jose Roberto was someone who I really wanted, and I got him. Didn't really like him playing with him, but I have played with him on a different account, and he was very good. The build for Luis Garcia. This isn't the format I usually do the training guides in. Here it is. For the skills, you're going to want to put on, he already has double touch and soul control, so put on the flip flop, put on acrobatic finishing, cut inside, and also it seems like acrobatic finishing has been buffed. Steven sent me a clip. Someone else mentioned it in my chat, but then Steven sent me a clip too, and I actually noticed something similar myself. It seems like acrobatic finishing is a bit broken at the moment, so you definitely want to put it on as well. Look at this shot from Lewandowski, completely off balance near post. It goes in. I can't really, sorry, apologies for the blurriness. I can't really do too much about it. PlayStation messages the way it loads, but You cut inside and like he just completely shoots off balance. Keeper near post gets done for. If the opponent had switched into his keeper to cover the cross goal shot, fair enough, but he didn't. So that shouldn't be happening, but that's what is happening. So you might kind of have to adapt. Then Jose Roberto. This is the build I went for. The passing, you could probably put a little bit less on. You could probably do that, and then you're gonna still have 88 low pass, so that would be a better build because I do think 88 is as good as the low passing needs to be, and you get another little points for defending. That's a good build. Dribbling's probably too high though, so you can reduce his dribbling. So if we go like this and get it to 90 tight possession, and then we have extra points to go into defending. Then we get the aggression to 80, and this is a bit more of a well-rounded box-to-box. And then with that last point, I don't know, you can put it into passing, I guess. Then we're getting the passing back to where we had it, or you could put it to aerial, but I wouldn't do it. So this will be a bit more well-rounded box-to-box. I was trying to use him as a, I don't know what the kind of type of player would be, but I didn't really care about his defensive ability. I wanted him just to be a kind of playmaker that links up with short passes. So he did it all right, but it was only 5 games. I do have confidence this guy would come good. I just didn't use him enough. You're going to want to put interception on him though, particularly, well, no matter where you're playing him. Particularly if you're playing him left back and centre mid, but even left mid, you could do it. Interception, put track back on him. If you're going to play him left mid or centre mid, put it on him a left back too. But it's definitely a priority for the other 2 positions. Yeah, man marking will be good. Same with double touch. And then if you're going to put double touch, you could go for the flip flap too and round off the level 3 double touch. So it definitely will be a good player. But I just need more time with him. Van Nistelrooy was good. I don't think there was too much to say with him. He kind of does what it says on the box. He just hits it, gets into good positions. Didn't score too many goals for me, but I didn't feel like it was him really. I felt like the shots were getting blocked. It wasn't really his fault. Maybe that is his fault though. He can't kind of get free and use his dribbling. But I went for a build with 101 finishing. You don't actually have to do that either. You can go for a build with 95 finishing. So 95 is usually what I go for, but if I get a player like Van Nistelrooy, I like to just put 101 finishing on just because I think it's fun. I don't think it's effective or anything, but I do think it's fun. And then you're going to want to put a little bit more on the lower body just to get the kicking power up. Then you have points, and that can go into aerial like so. And then he has 99 awareness, 95 finishing, and 90 kicking power. So just a well-rounded player at its core. For his skills, he's already got back finishing and first time shot, so no issues there. Put long range shooting on him just to help him. He definitely, if he has long range shooting, he'll be able to hit long range shots. He's got good kick and power and finishing, so it's kind of self-explanatory. You might want to put a cut behind and turn on him as well. Actually, no, you should put a cut behind and turn on him. Definitely more important, effective for him, that type of player, than Marseille turn. Also a true passing and a double touch to help him to link up play, and then obviously beat his man too. And you could put aerial on him. I don't think you need it, but he is quite tall, so yeah, put aerial on him as well actually. This guy is really underrated. I think I actually have a review of him on my channel. I think I reviewed it when he came out originally. I reviewed it. Whatever player was in the pack, and I also talked about this guy. This guy is really good, super sub. Well, I think it was more from when I used him before, but you can see here he got 3 games, 2 goals, and those 3 games would have been off the bench. So he's a kind of target man player. I know he's blocking the box, but that's what his build is. Like, look at his jumping, but look at his dribbling. So he's a bit unique, and great balance, great dribbling, great finishing, good jumping, good skills too actually. He's got 1 touch pass already, first time shot. He needs acrobatic finishing though, 100%, and he could do with like a double touch or a long range shooting, and a cut behind and turn / Marseille turn. Probably do cut behind and turn though. But yeah, very good player. If we look at the rest of the pack, so we got Guti. This is my Guti build. I don't particularly like this guy. He is not great stats, just passing isn't great. Or sorry, passing wasn't great. I did use him a little bit today, and I did think he was a little bit better because of how much passing has improved, because that 90 low pass came into play a little bit more. So if we look at his skills, he has double touch and soul control, so give him flip flap, also give him acrobatic finishing, because he's got very high weak foot as well, so you should be able to shoot with him. And then long range shooting as well, so flip flap, acrobatic finishing, long range shooting. Then it's up to you. You could go Marseille turn, cut behind and turn, or scissors feint. I would probably go cut behind and turn and scissors feint for my kind of choice. But again, you won't go too wrong with Marseille turn either. The next player is Baresi, another player that I've used quite a lot. How many games have I got on him? 290 games. That's a lot more than I thought I had, actually. I don't like the guy too much. I don't know how I have that many games. Do you know why I have that many games though, despite not liking him? It's because I want to like him. So if I want to like him and I don't like him, you know, just the bias should be that I'm overrating him, but I really don't. I really don't think he's that good. And it's surprising because a lot of top players do use him. If you watch like competitive players, a lot of competitive players use him for some reason. He's just not effective for me. He doesn't go into the tackles strong. Got low aggression, that's why. He's not bad in the air, but he's not good in the air. He seems like if an average centre back is 5 out of 10 in the air, he's 4 out of 10. So not terrible, but not great. And he doesn't feel that fast, probably because he's, I don't know if it's his heights, and he's not got the highest speed. He's got great balance. I kind of notice it, but I think Beckenbauer is better on the ball than him. Maybe we can try find Beckenbauer and compare the stats, and it'll kind of give us an explanation as to why Beckenbauer might be more effective. If we look at the dribbling, I mean, they're basically the same stats, although Beckenbauer is up a threshold, but his balance is quite lower. So I'm not actually sure why Beckenbauer even feels better dribbling on the ball than this Baresi. By the way, did I show the progression for Pizarro? I'm not sure I did. Here you go. Anyway, you should be able to figure it out from looking at the face stats. Another player, Mendieta, looked great. I tried him for 4 games, I think. Yeah, 4 games. I didn't notice him doing anything. Sometimes players just go missing, and it's not their fault. It's just small sample size. This isn't a review, by the way. This is just a training guide. I'm just trying to give context to the builds. So here's the build I'd go for. It's actually, I think it's quite similar to the recommended build. I think I made one change. The recommended build has 4 shooting and 10 lower body, so I took off a little bit of lower body and put it into the shooting. I think we'll have a like so. Yeah, should be a good player. In terms of skills, he could do with flip flap again because he's got double touch and soul control, long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, Marseille turn, cup behind turn, scissors feint. Anything else? Maybe interception or track back if you're gonna play him centre mid. Doesn't have good stats though, so I don't think you should. I think he's playing an AMF or right mid forward. Next player we'll look at is Vieira. This guy is bad though. I wouldn't use him. I don't think he's not as bad as you might think at first. Like, he's probably comparable to Van Nistelrooy, but Van Nistelrooy is more physical. This guy's more nimble. I don't know which is more important. It didn't really do much for me though. So if this is the build I went for, but you could go less on the build actually if we go like this, because he's getting the boost, he gets the 90 finishing. But then the problem with the 90 finishing is he doesn't have a 95 finishing, which is kind of like the what you'd want for a fox in the box because they're more focused on their finishing. But this build should be good as well. For the skills I'd put on him, I'd put on acrobatic finishing. Actually, yeah, he doesn't even have acrobatic finishing. It's not great. Maybe that's what I noticed. Double touch Marseille turn, long range shooting, and yeah, release him. I don't think he's great. So next player we're going to look at is Dwight York. I don't have Dwight York. He's the last player in the pack. So this is the build I'd go for Dwight York. You can see 95 finishing, awareness, good pace, and good kicking power. There's another build you can do where you give him more dribbling. So if we take off, what was it that I was supposed to take off? I think it was a little bit of the kicking power, because we did put a lot of points into lower body strength. If you did that and you get him to 80 dribbling and then put the points back in, you don't get as much kicking power, but it does look a bit more well-rounded, so I wouldn't have any issues going with this card. But I like to play players to their strengths, so if they're not going to be really good at dribbling, I don't really level the dribbling too much. If they're not going to be... this is for particularly for attacking players, because you need kind of moments of excellence to get your goals. It is more well-rounded, but I think you're better off kind of speccing into their strengths. If we look at the skills you can put on them, he's already got acrobatic finish in the first time shot, which is good. So I'd probably put true passing on him. And heel trick, again, a heel trick's good for players that aren't great on the ball. You can ping a pass into them and they can ping it, flick it back elsewhere. A cut behind and turn would be good, and also a aerial superiority might not be too bad. I know he's not got the greatest height, like he's not that tall. But he's got decent heading. He got decent jumping, and I think aerial superiority would be good, and they have improved headers in eFootball 25 as well, so it wouldn't be too bad. And honestly, I'd put super sub on him. Just use him as a super sub with the very high offensive awareness, speed, acceleration. I talk about in my How to Train Attackers video why super sub is good, particularly on these type of players. That wraps up the training guide. We're going to be doing a review of all these guys as well, except for Dwight York. I didn't manage to get him on my second account either. I will have people send me clips of Dwight York to let me know. Yeah, we're doing a review of these guys. And I'm also going to be doing a review of this David Villa and Guardiola that we can get for, I think it's 200 coins. So I've already played with them quite a lot. I really like Guardiola.